to adventureViV. Today, I'm standing in a new country, Sri Lanka. Cameraman and I are going to be exploring for almost a month, and we're super excited for all of the beauty that's ahead.
In the last episode, we skipped ahead a little bit. We showed you some of the beauty of the countryside and hanging out of trains, but this was our first train ride from the capital of Colombo to Dambulla. We decided to start our Sri Lanka adventures by exploring the famous Cultural Triangle, home of some of the most ancient cities and places of historical importance. But before setting out to see the sights, we decided to go on a short hike.
Today we're exploring central Sri Lanka. We're in the area that's known as the Cultural Triangle. And now we are on top of Pidurangula Rock with a great view of Sigiriya Rock right across from us.
One of the most popular and iconic sites in Sri Lanka is Sigiriya Rock. We were really excited to hike up Sigiriya, but opted not to when we learned that the cost was $30 per person. We heard from a friend that there was another rock adjacent to Sigiriya that offered the exact same views, and was only $3 per person, and far less crowded. Plus, we'd have a view of Sigiriya Rock, so I think we made the right decision. Near the top of Pidurangula Rock is a nice reclining Buddha nestled under a cliff and was at one time the largest brick statue of Buddha in the world.
Next stop in the Cultural Triangle, we're visiting the ancient city of Polonnaruwa. This place is old. I'm currently standing in the royal palace, which was believed to be 7 stories tall and have 1,000 chambers. There's not much of it left today, but it still feels really cool to be here.
And it's completed to the bridge and it's a beach.
There is so much history in Sri Lanka, but I'm not going to tell you because you know what? This isn't the History Channel. This is adventureViV. We go on adventures. And right now, I'm melting, so let's go hide in the shade.
Hot is an understatement, but this UNESCO World Heritage Site was well worth the sweat. This is a vast, spread out complex. Most of it is rubble, but some structures are still well preserved and very impressive. At one time, it was the capital of Sri Lanka, and the Sinhalese kingdom is said to have risen to great heights during the Polonnaruwa era.
Cover my shoulders and knees because this is a sacred place. Exploring this ancient city in Sri Lanka really reminds me of exploring the ancient ruins in Cambodia. It's definitely hot, we're definitely sweating, but it's so worth it. It feels really great to put on our exploring shoes and wander these ruins, which are the foundation of the culture that exists in Sri Lanka today.
Our last stop in the site was Gal Vihara, featuring the 4 best preserved rock-cut statues of Buddha. Locals were busy paying their respects, and we were invited to learn about the historical significance of the site. You can really feel the pride that Buddhists have for their religion and see how it guides their daily lives.
We awoke early one morning to visit the Dambulla Cave Temple before the crowds flooded in. The Cave Temple is the largest and best preserved in Sri Lanka, with over 150 Buddha statues. Entrance was $10 per person, and it's worth a visit if you're in Dambulla.
Our final stop in the Cultural Triangle was the city of Anuradhapura, another UNESCO World Heritage Site. We had one day here, and it turned out to be an amazing experience. We set out with a tuk-tuk driver who turned out to be so much more than just a tuk-tuk driver. Ajit, a proud Buddhist, insisted on taking us on his personal tour of sites around Anuradhapura. The first stop was the Rock Temple, where he explained the significance of murals and ancient statues. He showed us one of the monks' meditation spots, and of course, adventureViV had to experience it firsthand.
We made a quick stop at the Buddhist University before heading over to the largest and busiest Dagobah, where things would start to get interesting.
Our priority was a visit to the Bodhi tree, the oldest and longest surviving tree in the world. It was grown from a branch taken from the original Bodhi tree in India, where a Buddha was said to have found enlightenment. It was planted here in 288 BC. Reading about this tree, we knew we had to visit.
We were beginning to get a little antsy since the sun was going down and we had not yet seen the Bodhi tree. But Ajit assured us that we would go and that we were in for a special ceremony at the Dambulla, which was just about to take place. Led by 3 musicians, hundreds of local worshippers proceeded to carry in a massive ribbon featuring the Buddhist colors, which would ultimately be wrapped around the Dambulla. We observed in awe. There are so many reasons to visit Sri Lanka, but the one thing we learned here is that you must explore the cultural triangle. Regardless of your religious association, these are inspiring places to visit. And as with any destination, you will never see it all, but pick a few highlights and really allow yourself to get lost in them. We thought we were setting out to see an old tree, but in the end, we experienced so much more. And yes, we did see the tree. And although it was dark and a bit difficult to appreciate given that it was protected by walls and guards, the scene of worshippers all around was proof enough of its power. So we just witnessed this really special ceremony at this incredible Dambulla here in Anuradhapura. It's so amazing to see monks and community villagers come together to practice their religion. It's a beautiful thing and I'm so inspired. I'm so glad that our tour guide took us here. As always, thanks for watching our videos. If you like this episode, please give us a thumbs up. We'd really love that. And be sure to tune in to next episode where we'll show you all about the wild side of Sri Lanka. You don't want to miss it. So, we just checked in for our flight to Sri Lanka. Let's go!
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
See how much rice there is? That's a lot of rice. They really expect 2 of us to eat all this rice?
Every so often, my butt needs a break from the bike. So this seems like a good time to get a coconut and a cola.
Coconut and cola! Only 50 cents. Cat in Sri Lanka. We have some spicy chicken curry, some, I think these are spicy string beans, and other veggie curries. Ooh, I think that's jackfruit one. Justin's favorite. Coconut and cola! Coconut and cola! There's a staircase that leads up the rock, and it's single file the whole way up. So, that'll really test your patience. A lot of rice.
Sri Lanka cat.
It's a Sri Lanka cat.
Take us up the stairs.
We're visiting the ancient city of Polonnaruwa.
ඒ ප්‍රදේශවල සංකල්ප මැනවින්දත් බ්‍රාහ්මණයින් නොයෙක් වේද ශාස්ත්‍ර දේශනා කරමින් සිටියා.